Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. The reason I'm starting this HF series is because of, I got a new friend up there next to Gate City, KR4CMP, Jason. And he's new to ham radio. I don't know how long he's had his technician's license or how long he's had his ticket, but he's one of the reasons. He's asked me some questions about HF. What's the difference with this band and that band, and you know, how come of a nighttime some bands are open, some bands are dead of a day, some bands are, you know, are dead of a night. So that's the reason I thought I'd start this series. It's because of the newcomers. This is for the newcomers and the old-timers like me. Anybody wants to watch this video. I'm mainly going to go over, like I done went over 160 meters top band. This is 75. You know, 75 meters is from 3.5 to 4 megahertz. But you got 3.5 to 36030 CW and data. And you got, reason you got to allow for lower sideband, 2.5 kc. So, I got this programmed in my 101 MP. I always start at like 36030. You know, if I was advanced, 37030. If I was a general, 38030. So that gives 3 kcs from the band age, which I'm amateur. I've been amateur extra since February of 2008. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. But I'm gonna show some different stuff here on 75 and 80 meters. This is the extra portion. This is the advanced portion. This is the DX Winter 3790 to 3800. And this is the general portion. It goes from 38030 to 4 megahertz lower sideband. Which that's a gentleman's agreement, you know, for everybody runs lower sideband on the lower bands. You know, like 10, 15, and 12, and 17, and 20, everybody runs upper sideband. It's kind of confusing to the newcomers, but I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. And, like I said, on top band, the bigger the antenna, the better. Like a full wave loop. It just depends on what you want to do. If you want to talk 500-600 miles, maybe 1,000 miles tops, a dipole will get you there. And of a day, you can talk probably maybe from 100, little over 100 miles of a day. It just depends on conditions. And it depends on what kind of antenna you got. You know, like if you're using a full wave delta loop, 270 something foot long for 75 and 80 meters, you're going to do better. It's going to perform better. And of course, the higher you get the antenna, it's going to get out better. The lower the antenna, it's going to get out less. Like if you want an MBS antenna, just talk local. You know, 10 foot off the ground would be plenty. 10 to 20 foot off the ground would be plenty. I'm not really up on envious antennas. I put the far in the war, and I like to get my antennas up about 80 or 90 feet if I can, over top the treetops. The higher, the better. And like I said, back in 2006, 2007, 2008, I worked over 95 countries. It took me over 2 years 2 years exactly to get 95 countries. I was going for 100, and I got burned out. You know, I can only do this so much, and I got to do something different. That's a wonderful thing about this hobby. There's so many things you can do. You know, POTA, SOTA, mountain topping, QRP, you know, QRO. The sky is the limit. And I'm doing this series for the hams like Jason, KR4CMP. And he's curious, and a lot of other people are curious. So this is going to be the 75/80 meter HF ham band. Like I said, at the daytime, you got the D layer absorption. And you can still talk local, but you can't talk like to Australia or California or nothing like that, or even Texas. You can talk probably about anywhere from 50 to 150 miles. Just depending on conditions, how much power you're running, how high your antenna is, how big your antenna is. So I hope the new hams get something out of this. And like I said, this video's for all the hams, especially the new hams that are trying to learn about HF propagation. And like I said, I've talked to Japan, Australia, New Zealand. I've talked to China. I've talked all over the world on this band. But you won't do it with a halfway dipole. You'll have to put up... What I had up back in 2006 was a ridge top 4-wave delta loop. It was spread over two 1,700-foot ridge tops. It was a good 100 and something feet off the ground. And that's how come I could do so good. I don't own that land no more. I sold it back a few years ago. But, you know, that's how come I could do so good. Because I had a dipole up over 100 feet from ridge top. Not a dipole, a loop from ridge top to ridge top. And it was up in there, and I was using 500 feet of 450 on ladder line. Where I messed up, I run the ladder line into the shack, and I had some RF on some of the bands. I should have put a Ballum in line and run coax inside the shack. It would have been a lot better. So I've learned a lot over the years. But I thank you for watching this video. The next ham band is going to be 60 meters. So, then 40, and then so on and so on. But thank you guys. Thank you everybody for watching my channel. And I hope you like the videos on the HF series. This is Radioactive KE4BFG. You know the drill. I'm out of here.